Hey guys, RB here. Just recording a follow-up update to the video that I shared a couple of days ago. Basically talking about missing this fifth leg up. What kind of problems we could have, and the problems to the expected structure. So what we were looking at before was getting these five waves up, like a one, two, three, four, and five, and this failed by around 30-40 points. Even if we would have gotten a minor high hit at about 5500, 5520, would have been sufficient, right? But it failed at I think around 5465 or so, right? And this choppiness caused me to believe that we are gonna have a sell-off, and we got the sell-off. And today, when I shared that breaking 5300 will make it drop further down, and that's what exactly happened. And I kind of alerted there that this is the level to bounce, and it could bounce a bit, and we got actually a good bounce of almost about 80 points from 5216, right? So now again, just kind of sharing my mind here. I mean, what I said in Discord as well was that this structure is highly corrective, right? I cannot in any way call it a bullish structure. And if we are looking from from the top, which I explained in the last video as well, we had a three waves drop. And if we go in a shorter video, the short term time frame, um then we are looking at a similar corrective bounce as well, right? Where we had just three waves up. So basically, the bottom is probably not in here, right? So if this would have been here, we would have got some sort of an impulsive or a leading diag or some sort of that formation. So three followed by a three. While I do think that this particular move up is not sufficient enough, and I would like to see at least a test somewhere in this range, which is 5780 or 5793, or at least this 5730, right? So I do want to see a test of around this area in this wave, right? Though it is corrective, it's just retracing back to the drop it had from the highs. Now, if we just measure how much we have already retraced, if we just look into from top to the low, we have done about 50%, and 60% comes 61% comes at around 5600, around this level, which probably will not even close the gap fully on SPX that we have at that range, right? I would want something higher, right? I would want something like this, between 61% and 78%. Like I said, the key pivot numbers are here. This one, which is 5727, and around 5784. So in one way or the other, I would want this wave to actually go up till that range, right? These pivot numbers. Let me just mark this as well, right here, right? So this is where my supply is, and this was not tested fully on the day of the pump. It just went up until this resistance right here, and dropped, right? And the final target is here, right up here. It's all, what matters right now is how we go there. Our final target is right here. Do we go right just from here after this bounce, or my initial opinion is that we will actually see another dip, at least to make either a double bottom or test the demand that I have, that we created before that big pump came on Trump's tweet of a 90-day delay in the tariffs, right? So that would mean that this corrective wave, which is going on right now, uh, that's gonna be taking us a little bit more lower into 50-50, 50-40, somewhere in that range, somewhere around here, right? And the way it can go is multiple, right? It can just do a little bit of more bounce, test the resistance here, either at 5348, or here, at 53.70, and can have another leg down. There's nothing really impulsive going on in here. I mean, I can push for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with fifth being the extended and third is not the shortest, so nothing, no rule is being broken. So I can have a five waves down here, but I don't see any, uh, such things. So like if this would have been a zigzag, I would have five waves here and then five waves down. But let's say even if I start counting this as five, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then what we are looking at is probably an action like this, which is kind of choppy in nature. That this was my one, we'll have a two, probably a three, four, five, right? So a zigzag down for a B wave, right? Once the B wave is here, probably do another C up, right? So now we have like three here up, three down. It's not gonna be straight either because it's not a flat, right? Which means we can keep doing something like this again, right? So there, here, and this, right? Just to get there. So a complex formation, you can call it as a bear flag when you start looking it at at a larger time frame, right? Basically, again, I mean, there could be n number of ways this can unfold. I don't have to have it in certainly in this way. The whole in this B wave, what we are calling it as B wave. Let me just put this ABC up here like this, right? A, we are doing a B, and I want the B to come here, and then I'm gonna have a C, or you call it as WXY as well, because again, it could be a 333. It could make a double bottom. If it does a double bottom and you have a three waves up, a three wave double bottom, then you can have an impulse up right from here, and that's a flat, right? If that happens. So let's say if this goes right here, doesn't stop even at 50.30, and this turn into an impulse like I was showing, right like this, that you had this wave one, wave two, and then you sell off pretty hard, again bounce and make a double bottom, right? So this double bottom will give us an opportunity of a spring bounce, and again probably some news will come, and this will have a continuous rally for a couple of days, 2 days, 3 days, to bring us into that 57 and 5800 level, right? And if you see, what you have going on in here is an ABC, right? An ABC again in a flat way, probably. And then overall this is a flat structure, so another impulse up, right? So again, a number of ways this can resolve. Either can go up straight, can come into this demand and go. That would be my ideal scenario, where it comes into this 50-30 demand and then goes. But of course, if some another news come from China or somewhere else, given this, that's how days have been, I wouldn't discount the flat as well, right? So all in all, we want to get to that higher level, higher retracement level, somewhere here into this 5700 to 5800 range. How we get there is what we have to see, right? I wouldn't be rushing into any more longs than I have right now, because this does not give me any high risk reward entry for averaging down or anything like that. My intent would be to only add somewhere around here, 50 or here at 48 50 or 48.60, right? So that would make a lot more sense for me to add. If this just goes, that's fine, I'm gonna just clear out the longs. So that's kind of my plan right now for this. But overall, I mean, if you see now, my last theory, which I shared for the bulls, was that this drop was almost 50% for a wave four, right? Which I calculated like this here, and this drop was coming here at 50%, exactly at 48.50, right? And I was counting this as a wave four. Now, here is my challenge, right? So if this is not a wave four, which means if this is not complete here, now to what I explained before, if we adjust, let's say come down here, go up here, and then come down again, then the next leg, I would anticipate that probably I'm gonna make a new low, right? That would make sense, because if my first leg was at 50% at 48.40, then my next leg can actually drop into the next support level of 4600 something, right? 46.45. Now, I mean, still, it has not really violated the rules of wave 4. Wave 4 should not enter in wave 1. But from the just from the size and the time it has taken as compared to the wave 2, it starts to look very, very odd to me, right? So I'll have to think about that. That okay, is this still a wave 4 and a wave 5 can come just right from here, right? Or there is something else going on. What other than that can happen? Other than that, what I'm thinking of could be, let's say this is a 4, right? One another thing that can happen is that while this move does happen, which I just explained, that you go down a little bit, and then you go into this 5800, 5700, 50 sort of level, and somewhere in there, and you actually make a triangle, right? That would be totally all right, because my 4 in that case is measured from where A, B, C, D, E ends. Right, and A did not go below 50%. That's fine if this turns into a triangle with all the kind of news floating around, and tariff problems and trade wars and all that, and uncertainty can be like this, and I still make a wave 5 up. That's a possibility, a long shot. We still have to see what we do, at least in this area, and then define, if this is going to be triangle or this is something else going on, right? So there is still a case for that to make a new high just like this. Other than that, if it starts making a new low, going back to the previous case where, it kind of comes into doing this, go up, and then starts dropping. We have to see where it really ends, right? Does it really ends at 46.45, or it even tries below to just go a little lower? Maybe let's say we try to measure 100% of the extension for the second leg, right? In that case, where it ends, yeah, somewhere around 4492. But again, my point is that this 4 is too low. I would not be calling this as a 4 for this particular 2. And this is something else is going on. And in my point of view, we would be in a larger correction. But again, I mean, this is too early for me to get into that, and start recounting the whole thing from the bottom. I know many different people count it in a different way, but I have to just kind of rethink and see if the top was in, then how much we are correcting. This could be just a 3 waves for a just larger correction. If it comes and stops here at 4500, then you have a bounce, and then you might have another leg down, right? And you go and test maybe 2022 lows to mark the actual bottom once this is all done and dusted, right? So a lot of scenarios will open up, because at the end of the day, even if this drop is gonna happen to whatever level, either to 2022 level or just 4600, this is again a wave 4, and for so long we have been talking about wave 4s, the complexity, the different patterns that it forms, right? And that will remain true here as well. um, that this wave 4 could be as complex as it wants to be until it achieves the level and does the job that it's supposed to do, which is clearing out the liquidity from the market, let the big institutions load up at lower prices once they are ready, once they feel confident, and they want to kind of start marking up, and once their wholesale stores are full with the inventory of all the stocks that we sell to them, and then they start building up the momentum for the next fifth wave up right after that. But again, that's a long story. We don't know if we are in that yet or not. Let's focus on the short term. Short term, I want to see a dip and a rip, back into 5700s, 5800s. That's where I wanted to go. After that, it becomes a triangle, or does it give me a C leg down to 4600 or lower? That's something that we'll have to see. So taking step by step as it's unfolding, not over trading, and trying to stick with more on the ETF side to avoid the changes and the premiums with the VIX shrinking or VIX exploding. There's a lot of things going on, right? And I was traveling this all week, so didn't trade much anyway. But this is all what is going on in my mind, looking at how things are flowing. Just based on the news, there is a movement coming up. There's a move which comes, and the move is like 100 200 points in minutes, right? There is no real structure from top to bottom or in this upswing as well. So things are like, of course, in a corrective phase, in a corrective manner. The bottom may not be in, and again, like I said, could be just a triangle. Who knows, right? So I'll try to keep you updated as I always do, and let's see where we go with this. All right, thank you very much. That was all. If you like my video and content, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye bye.